This is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and a client commented on the definition of a top pivot. Client states, the top pivot, the frame portion, is also known as the walking beam due to the retractable pin. And walking beam has always been a definition that's been confusing to me in the sense of walking beam? Well, I just got to a point in my career where I said, you know what, just accept it. So let me just show for those folks that may say to themselves, I have no idea what those words mean. I have an ABH 0370 here. ABH is a vendor of preference for me personally. I like everyone's pivot hardware, Ives, Dorma, Rixson, obviously. The other people that make pivots, there are many other hardware companies that manufacture pivots. Rockwood actually makes pivots. McKinney makes pivots. Stanley makes pivots. Lots of people make pivots. Your boutique people make pivots. There's a company in New York and I forget their name. Anyway, so there was an 0370 within 10 feet of my desk. So there was a top pivot, and the YouTube commenter states the frame portion. There's a top pivot. Well, there's a door portion as well. That all goes together like that. So he's telling you it's the frame portion, and it is. When you have this installed and you look up, basically, it's going to look like that. You'll have two screws to hold the scalp plate on, the trim plate. You're going to have a hole for the top pin to come down through, but you're also going to have a hole with a slotted screwdriver. Now, if you focus on the pin while I turn that, I'll turn it counterclockwise. Just focus on the pin for right now. You can see I'm drawing the pin up as I turn this. Now, focus on this area here. Let me actually move. Let's get rid of the plate. Now focus just on the ball and the screw that's moving. You can see how that's what they're referring to. Now look over here where my finger is moving, right here. You'll really be able to study how that all moves. And that's what they're talking about, the walking beam, the walking beam pivot. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm a fan of their material, that's to be sure. And if you have any questions on any pivots, please feel free to reach out to us. I'm sorry that I'm clearly distracted showing that to you. But walking beam pivots, now, and I have customers call every once in a great while, and they've got an old Rixson Jr. And the Rixson Jr. was a small double-acting floor closer used in residential applications. And the client says, I need to get the door out of the opening. How do I get it out of the opening? Well, those have top pivots that look just like this, except they're not walking beam. Where the screw is, there would be a hole where you would take something like this screwdriver and you would push up forcefully to get the beam to pull the pin up and back. I can't really comment as to what the linkage looks like, but it's basically on a spring is what it is, and it would pull the pin up. I've had one customer for sure that I sold him, we repaired his Rixson Jr., and he absolutely could not get that top pivot to disengage. And I said, well, I hate to say it, but the only thing I'm familiar with is taking a Sawzall and cutting that top pin, which is what he did. He said, you know, we repaired the closer, we sold him a brand new top pivot, a walking beam top pivot, a modern pivot. He had to do a little bit of remortising and it worked just fine. So if you see a top pivot and it doesn't have that screw, it's not a walking beam pivot, and it is probably extremely old. Now, the reason you've got walking beam pivots is because whether you have a center hung pivot or you've got a center hung floor closer, you're going to take the door and tip it down onto the bottom, the floor portion, lean it into the opening, get the door opened, and then you'll be able to get inside of there and draw that pin down by working the walking beam pivot. Anyway, that's everything I hope that you ever wanted to know about walking beam pivots. My name is Richard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.